favor. Away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to KritzKast. It is week 5, and week 5 means it's CP Steel. Yes, it's the Marmite of maps. You either love it or you hate it, but these two teams have to play it because the winner will be guaranteed a playoff spot and continue their season 27 campaign of Premiership Highlander. ETF2L has a slightly new playoff structure, but one of these teams can get through. Both can get through depending on how this result goes. And it is going to be between inVision and Twice. Both of these teams have the ability to get into playoffs at the moment. As it stands, SDCK are first in the table. Failure Esports are second. If a team here tonight wins both rounds and takes it 6-0, they will be guaranteed second place and the loser will be dumped out in fourth place. However, if there is a 4-2 either way, then both of these teams will be going through, just determines on the seeding. We're going to have Twice in the blue attacking first, and in the red it will be inVision trying to beat that time. Of course it is Steel, so plenty of pitch shenanigans, I'm guessing. Refleks, you have, do you think, you said it's going to be close, do you have a team in your eyes right now that you think is just going to have the edge here?
I don't know, man. Like, I'm so unsure at this point, but perhaps twice. But inVision still has a chance, to be honest. So I'm still on the both side, but maybe I'm rooting a little bit, you know, on Twice's side, my favorite K-pop group.
Favorite? Okay. I mean, there's a number of TF2 teams have been named after K-pop groups, right? You know, like the legendary first ever European super team, SNSD.
Never heard of it.
That's a K-pop group, right? You're a weeb, you should know this stuff.
No,
right.
Man.
It is Steel, so A goes down for free. Delt goes down pretty much for free. As is Kazuki with the little reflect there from Grip. And Buko lose to Broken. The Broken versus Buko fight is going to be an interesting here tonight. But yeah, a bit of like a suicide wave coming in from Twice. It doesn't really achieve much. And it doesn't look like we're seeing any kind of AE shenanigans coming in from Twice here. It looks like it's going to be the full beat commit. And the Uber does come in here.
Uber does come in. Both sides are exchanging here, trying to take down the L6 sentry, but unfortunately fails to do that, and they will eventually back away Team Twice. But seems like they will be pushing back, though. Buff banner goes up on inVision's side, and a lot of players are still up. Seems like inVision would just gain all the ground back, and Twice is just back to the planning board. Gonna see what they're gonna do next here to try to come back.
Yeah, all they really achieved there was kind of getting the Uber out of the defense and taking that sentry down. But look at Asics already got that level 2 up. Kafka goes down, and that's a decent kill, having a soldier down. But just look at the damage there. Joe running the pirate cannon, the loose cannon, just spamming down there, getting some kills. Sammy down on the respawn at the moment for Twice, so maybe waiting for him to get back up so they can go back to the drawing board and have a little bit of, I think, what they're going to do here. They're going to be waiting for the Uber. They're just going to go in for the trade. Axio in position here, maybe for a sap. Maybe that's going to be their priority, get the sentry out of the way before they go in. But no, it's just going to be another exchange. The sap comes in, sentry goes down straight away again. Asics does go down this time around. 20-second respawn for him, and it's a bit chaotic here, but it does look like, for the time being, inVision slightly more in control.
Slightly more in control, but what Twice does have is full control of the high ground at the moment. They will probably try to make use of that. Odin trying his absolute best here, trying to do some fat damage, but unfortunately does go down to the Joe Egg pipe stickies right there. Twice just trying to like pick up whatever scraps has been left, trying to like go off on a specific pick here. But not really that many inVision players are down, so inVision's just holding it so strong right now. Joey getting another kill on Kusuke right there, just denying all the high ground, not allowing anyone on Twice to get any high ground. And every time they try to make an attempt, they just fail. But here we go, they tried to make another one. Let's see if this one fails.
Yeah, I mean, BB came in from behind and was getting some pressure on the E point. All of that point presence has just been degraded. Piyaka went back, helped clean it up, and now Twice are coming in. They're flooding in through B. They've used the Uber, but Zero hasn't had to use his, so he's going to have a much better Uber on the defense. Sentry goes down to that brass piece from Odin again, but it's a much better for inVision. Actually, a Delt there with the Refleks is going to get Grip out of source. Asics also goes down. Joe gets cleaned up, and that was the priceless move. They're waiting. Unforgiven comes in, gets Buka, gets Odin as well, a little 1-2. But yeah, that little reflect there from Delt just put Grip into a position where he wasn't able to deny that space anymore, and that's absolutely huge. And Twice now, bit between their teeth, they can push this on to C.
Yeah, but we do see Kusuke heavy and Broken trying to hold the BC connector here, but just trying to stand their ground here, not really Twice trying to make a absolute strong push of this. They're probably planning on what to do next. Do they go C, do they go E? You're gonna have to wait and see. Everyone on BC connector right now, though, on inVision's part. It's up to Twice now to see what they're gonna do next. They are preparing for the push, though. Both sides have equal Ubers, and they're about to use right here, right now.
Yeah, BC connector seems to be where it's all going to go down. Yeah, the Ubers do get exchange, and Buko goes down, and that's pretty big. You know, you're not going to have that sniper presence on the cliff. Broken goes down, Stingan dead. I mean, the defensive deaths are going to be more important because they have a much longer spawn time, but we're seeing that double dunk, we're seeing those Refleks. inVision just reclaiming that BC area. Odin is there with the Brass Beast, just making it difficult. But is this a buff banner that I see out of Kafka? It is, but oh my word. There they are. They were waiting Sammy there with the sticks. We're going to see a bleed kill from BB as well. And look at that, ×3 on E point. Their bridge isn't up yet, but they're already getting pressure on it. I would send someone to see if I was you Twice, but they seem to be putting all of their eggs in one basket and trying to get this E point down now.
I mean, they are denying the forward spawn right now for inVision, and a lot of the spam classes are up and just trying to take it down, but unfortunately, a lot of presence from inVision, just a lot of respawners coming in. Stingham trying to do his best work right now just to try to kill anyone who dares try to get on the point, but they're just capping, and their BB just stays on the point throughout the entire round and basically caps it 5 minutes for Twice.
Yeah, you know, that was really well played because you had Delt jump onto the point there, a little flare jump onto the point. You had BB on the point, so you got that ×3 going. And then Kazuki comes in, and, you know, a soldier may think, you know, in a lower div, or, you know, just thinking, oh, I've got to get on the point as well because I can jump onto the point. Doesn't jump onto the point, just says, okay, you've got the ×3 going, jumps on to heaven and just spams that lower spawn. So they're trying to come out of E-spawn and they can't do it for free. Getting that spam down, not allowing it to happen. They do eventually get some players down, but really well played by Casper, healing just on the edge there and using the fact that you're healing the scout, you have that extra movement speed to jump onto the point and reignite that ×3. That was crucial because that 5 seconds of ×3, you know, they died on the point there. They wouldn't have got it otherwise. So well played by Twice. It looks a bit of a struggle on B, so we'll have to see what inVision decide to do, whether they're going to have to go for a fast push, but definitely a spicy time, 5 minutes.
Gonna have to try to do an absolute crank push here, but I think inVision is very good at pushing objectives personally, in my opinion, and they're all stacking A. How will this affect what Twice is thinking right now? Will they move to BC and set up something there, or will they just stay on B and wait and see what their next move is? inVision just straight up chilling on A, just, you know, having a good time, just straight up. But we do see Broken trying to drop down, get a pick, but unfortunately gets taken down instantly by Buko from Team Twice. But
this is slow. This is very slow rotate from Twice here. Axia was there giving the info, but it doesn't matter. They get so many kills. They get 5 kills, stopping that AE kind of pincer move there. But the thing is, they had to use their Uber. Casper popping that Uber there, maybe just out of fear of losing any players. Zio did not. So now Zio has 100% in the back, and now they're entering B for free. They probably don't even have to pop here because the rotation took that sentry all the way back to BC Connection. It's a very passive hold here from Twice, and they've not forced the Uber yet. Zio is under no pressure whatsoever. Big bomb in from Kazuki. The Uber does get forced. Kafka gets Reflekt killed there. Trades with the Kazuki essentially. But really, this Uber's not achieved much other than get onto B. So a little bit of a let-off there by Twice, playing passive, soaking up the pressure, but well played by Kazuki to make sure that force came out. And pressure on E already, Refleks.
And Vision's going to be holding BC whilst the capping on E happens. BB tries to prevent the cappage here, but does take down Pijaka, attempting the E cap. Straight chilling right here on BC connector. inVision, Twice just taking it easy, waiting for inVision to make the next move. You know, inVision are the ones who got to push, so just gonna have to wait and see what move inVision will be making. They're just waiting with the Uber ad right now while inVision is building. 75%, 25% left to go. Quick maps, and they will be trying to make some presence here on the C gate, but a lot of players just going down.
Yeah, a little cheeky spot here from Odin on the rocks. Just using that Brass Beast to anyone who's coming up onto Seacliff, but Unforgiven is in position. Goes in, but gets caught out. Odin wise to that. And at the moment, this high ground has just been given for free to inVision. They get forced early on though. Kazuki gets launched into the air, but that ground is being taken by inVision. They've got this high ground. They use the Uber, but they don't get any progress towards C point. And now we're seeing great rocket straight into Casper, slamming them into the wall. And that is going to be the huge opening that inVision have been waiting for.
Absolutely correct by Kafka right there. But yeah, Kusuke tried making a similar play right there, but it does pop up the battalion's banner, but it seems like they will just be basically giving up on C, allowing inVision to cap C. 2 minutes left on the clock. They're gonna have to start preparing an E push here simply, because the E push does take its sweet time to the E cap does take its sweet time to actually fully fulfill itself. So you know, they're gonna have to plan here. What are they gonna do next? Not really much of a strong hold right now on E, so this leaves the potential for inVision to do something here.
Yeah, I mean, inVision definitely not worrying too much. Yeah, 125 left on the clock. You essentially need about 40 seconds with some decent cap time to get that cap done. But Casper only at 50%. Zio has that 100% ready. It does like, excuse me, inVision are ready to go through BC Connector. They take down Buko. They're going to be jumping onto the point. Odin also going down. Grip getting ready to pressure that forward spawn onto Kazuki. In comes Kafka as well. Approaching the minute mark. And there are players on the point now. Casper at 95% Uber. It's going to be absolutely important for them to see what they're going to do with this Uber. If they manage to... You know what?
Okay.
Yeah, sticky trap on the door. There's no Uber. 8 times 8 on the point here, Refleks. And a sentry gun. That doesn't give you cap time, but it's going to help a little bit. But inVision definitely looking strong.
This might be a controversial take, but I think inVision will be taking this round right here. And wow, they did. What is?
You know what? That's what I like about you, Refleks. You're bold. You make the brave statements, the brave predictions on what's going to happen there.
That was a joke. That was a satirical comment. But if you're just tuning in, guys, this is week 5, Premiership Highlander. You know, inVision versus Twice. On Steel, inVision is currently leading with 1-0 against Twice. Twice is going to have to win a round here to simply, make it to playoffs, or inVision can take it easy and, get another win and then play against Fela in the playoffs. So, it's up to them.
At the end of the day, let's put it out simply. If you're a Fela fan, you want inVision to win. If you're an inVision fan, you probably want inVision to win. If you're a Twice fan, you need them to win the next round. That's
stream
it.
Their new hit single.
If you're an SCCK fan, then I don't know, just grab a beer or something. If you're a neutral, you probably want to see Twice win so that we get another round.
Or
and
a Gabagool fan.
Best of 3. If you're a Gabagool fan, then I apologize for being a fan of a team with Refleks in it. But as we are going now, inVision is in the blue, so they're attacking first. This time it is going to be the reverse of what we saw in the previous round. Twice in the red will be defending, trying to beat that time, and they'll definitely be trying to maybe iron out some of the mistakes we saw in that first round. We've seen this incredibly aggressive hold on B. Kazuki on the high ground, Buko even on the high ground, trying to get a sightline on anyone peeking up those stairs. Unforgiven's going to drop down and get a little bit of spam there and get caught, so no sneaking around. But just taking a look at this A area here, Refleks, and it's going to be A again, and they're getting so fast round. The calls aren't coming in quick enough. They're behind them. They're behind them on B.
Oh, this is going to be crazy. This is going to be cray-cray. But damn, not cray-cray enough, because only Delph goes down in that push. They kind of fumbled that bag. I'm going to be completely honest. That was kind of cringe.
I mean, they had a massive opportunity, because what you normally want to see is somebody giving you the call, hey, they're pushing A, and then you rotate some players around to BC and try and defend it from there. But Twice just didn't do that, allowed them to come in behind. We're seeing a bit of an exchange happening up here. Odin with the 1-2-3 takes down a triple with that Brass Beast, being kind of like a second sentry gun on the high ground there. And inVision unable to get any sort of progress towards anything. And I'm not going to use the word cringe. I'm a sophisticated individual, Refleks, but I agree with you. How they managed to get their entire team behind, and they didn't even get a force. They got nothing.
I mean, it happens, man. Like, What can you do about it? You know, Twice is just, the inVision is just trying to, try to make a push here. And seems like they might be rotating to A again, try to make a cheeky AE push, perhaps. Or they're just going to sit at spawn and prepare to push B again. Never mind, they probably heard me and then they were like, oh, let's troll Refleks, guys. But just, straight up, Twice.
That's exactly what these players are thinking. They're definitely wanting to troll you right now. That's their priority during this incredibly tense second round as the sap comes in from Unforgiven. But a solo sap against a team of players isn't very helpful. But we're seeing some pressure on E point right now. Piyaka and Kavka, the flank, they've got half of the cap time down on E already.
This might be huge. Because a lot of cap time equals a lot of time to win, And they're sitting on BC right now. A lot of strong presence. A level 3 gun and a heavy. Basically 2 sentries in the lobby. But that'll basically go down to 1 spy. That's what happens when you build a sentry fort, guys. And B is still being held strongly by team Twice. Uber did get exchanged, unfortunately, for team Twice. So they might have to, prepare for a dry push perhaps, and it seems like inVision will be going up on the high ground trying to get some cheeky picks right there, taking down a lot of players, and B will be basically gain for team inVision, and it's basically a wipe, to be honest. They're just gonna have to pull up the E and start capping there, to be honest.
Yeah, the pressure on E did bring Twice around, just trying to deflect from fighting on 2 fronts there essentially, and not having an Uber there. I mean, inVision just pushed in dry. They still have an Uber. They're capping B and capping E at the same time, which means you know what? You're gonna have to give it a B and try and defend E here if you're Twice. 336 for the first 2 points is pretty long, but when you're looking at inVision with that 100% Uber in BC connector, they can move themselves around. Dealt there, fighting Joe will take down the demo, and that's absolutely huge. Broken getting down Buko, kind of getting the edge on the sniper fight at the moment for this round. But actually Twice kind of holding the storm. C is definitely under massive pressure. Probably will go down. Kazuki just taking a peek. What's the play here? But with a heavy and an Uber there, probably doesn't really want to fight it, but it's given Casper time up to 85% now, and I think Twice's main goal here is going to be defend E at all costs.
That battalion simply, yeah, they're going to set up on Heaven on E, not really much of that white room presence you were talking about earlier during the previous match, but Pijika will be capping D, and by the help of a lot of other players from the combo, just D presence everywhere. Don't take that out of context. But Uber exchange will be going out right here on D. Not really, the point did not get capped, and seems like Twice will be losing that exchange and D will be capped.
Yeah, actually, the defensive Uber came in, but Sammy goes down there. Oh no, types oops in the chat. 20-second respawn for the demo is going to be pretty huge at this point. It's going to be a lot from other players to try and protect this. We have a level 2 sentry watching the point. Casper's up there with Doubt, just trying to air blast any damage away from that sentry. Kafka lurking underneath Kazuki, gonna jump away because Kafka jumps up. The sentry will go down from that long range shot from Biyaka there with the scattergun, but they still have players on the high ground. They're still defending this. We have a sentry from inVision now in BC connector. It's getting a little bit chaotic. There's a lot of pressure being put on this heaven area, but there is just constant denial from those players to try and stop anyone getting close to that E point.
Nice backstab right there by Unforgiven. It's just like CSGO for real. But Uber will be used on inVision's part, trying to go in, but unfortunately they're gonna have to back away since, Twice will be answering with an Uber back, and Unforgiven trying to make a play, and oh no, Casper on the pit, and falls down to his death. Oh no! Poor Casper right there. And yep, inVision will be getting strong presence here though on the point. Shield goes down to the BB rush. Will that be enough? We'll just have to wait and see. 7 times on cap. Hot take yet again. I think inVision will get this.
Yeah, it's times 10 on the point at the moment. So Kazuki comes in, gets a couple of rocks, gets 3 kills. Maybe that's going to have bought like a second.
For the logs.
620, yeah, for the logs, but 621. You know what? If Twice cap this in 620, then Kazuki's going to be like, hey, That's because of me.
I'm your man.
I'm your man. You owe me for that one. But you know what? A slower attacking time that we saw from Twice in that first round. So Twice will be saying, you know what? We didn't defend amazingly there, but if we attack in the same way we did in the first round, then we'll be tying things up here. And they need to do that if they want to keep their playoff dream alive. If inVision hold for 621, they'll be going through with 6 points. They'll be second place seeded, and Failer will be taking that third spot. Twice will be in that agonizing fourth spot just outside of the playoff bracket. So they need to push here in 620 or less in order to get around on the board and confirm themselves in playoffs, and then maybe even steal that second space away from inVision. Do you think it's going to happen, Refleks? I mean, it's been close. It's been tight all the way. Do you think it's going to happen?
I feel Twice might have a chance, to be honest. You know, as I said, both teams equally as good in my personal opinion, so Twice is just gonna have to prove it for me, to be honest. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, capping will be happening on A, the most fun part of Steel, to be honest. Just watching them cap A. Whoa, did you get excited when you see them capping A, CeeJaey?
You know what? I'm terribly excited. It's absolutely crazy seeing people AFK on A, just waiting for that thing to get capped. We do see some sacks coming in, and oh wow, Grip, a little cheeky serve there back onto the health pack, but will deny any sorts of pressure. And despite Delta and Kazuki being down, the solo Uber comes in onto Sammy and doesn't really achieve anything. There was no sap from Axio because he was dead also. There's no force actually onto Zio, so a couple of sticky traps there going to kill Delt and Kazuki. So Twice really just throwing the kitchen sink in the first 20 seconds and not really achieving all too much.
Yeah, they had a lot of potential to do stuff there with the pick, like with Broken being down and stuff, but it didn't seem like they really made much use of that. But yeah, they're just going to try to keep pushing this, maybe build that Uber and see what they're going to do next with it. Buko trying to go in for a pick here, unfortunately fails, taking that, doesn't take down CEO. But what CEO will do is use Uber on the fellow inVision gamers, just get a lot of presence, just try to take down everything they see, but that'll leave them at a 70 this side. This is the play potential for Twice here.
Yeah, I mean, that could be considered a mistake here from inVision. Maybe they thought using an aggressive Uber on the defense would catch some people out. They're going to have an aggressive Uber to deal with from Sammy here, going in deep, trying to get onto the players. They managed to get down Asix. The Sentry is also down. Grip gets taken down, but the backstab from Unforgiven will take down Casper. There is no medic for either side. Huge frags from there. Kazuki coming in, flying in. And the sum total of it is that Kafka kills Axio on the point. Odin is there in a little 1v1 and shoots the rockets through the little hole in the fence there. And actually, Twice is still... They actually haven't locked this down yet.
They have, though. Set up all the way on B, now going to B, C. Trying to, you know, not allow them to perhaps just set up on C. Everyone on inVision is just on spawn, basically, just waiting for the time, waiting for the spawns to move so they can go, you know, kill the enemy gamers attempting to touch their C point, and they will be going to set up there. But what is the play in Twice will be making? You know, Twice just trying to make the play. Currently capping E though, so getting some presence. 3 minutes 30 seconds left on the clock. They gotta do something, man.
They got to do something. I mean, BB is just sat on E point, getting that cap time. Actually goes into White Room now and loses against Piyaka. So that cap time has stalled on E. And now it's going to be Delt to take over that role, just trying to get some presence on E, maybe just pull some people apart. Broken and yeah, well, pretty much the entirety of inVision are trying to focus onto that E point as we see Sammy, Odin, using that Uber on C. Not really sure why, I must have missed that, but the Uber was used. They have cap time on C now, and inVision have a choice to make. Do they want to try and defend C? They have an Uber advantage. It didn't work out too well for them when they were aggressive on B, but it looks like this time they're going to be playing a little bit more passive, retreating onto the E point, and 240 is still a lot of time to play with. So like I said, if you're a Failer fan, you might be getting a little bit nervous in your seats. If you're a Twice fan, 230 they have left on this round in order to cap it, otherwise they are out of season 27. But inVision do have that Uber advantage. Refleks 40% ad at the moment.
gonna have to straight up chill and wait. And there goes Odin down in the pit. Bye-bye. But a lot of players, crucial players for inVision, are going down one by one. Broken, Joe, and Unforgiven. You know, this is the play potential here for Twice. 2 minutes left on the clock, and soon equal Ubers. Only 10% left. Banner will be going up for Team inVision, and here we go. Twice trying to make the place here. Del falling down to the pit as well. God, the pit has been killing so many people today. And Ubers will be exchanged on E. Not really much happening out of both Ubers, but Azuk's gun does go down eventually. Hit it when that happens. And, you know, inVision will still be standing strong. Not really much Twice can do at the moment to, like, you know, do anything. They got to get a crucial pick here to potentially make the potential play. And Azuk's is dead, so no sentry gun to worry about during the pushes. Only perhaps the Uber trade when that comes.
Yeah, 1 minute 20 seconds left on the clock. They had a moment there where inVision had 4 players alive. Maybe that was the chance to use the Uber. Kazuki jumps in, doesn't manage to get it, and you know we have Stingham there on the brass beast on the point. He's just gunning down almost like a second sentry. The sentry for inVision is down, but on a massive flank, a massive amount of damage going down there. Casper is going to die in less than a minute to go. Twice need to get onto this point now. They have no option other than to get bodies. They need to get kills. They need to get bodies. Otherwise, that is going to be it. They're coming in through BC now. Asics is dead. Unforgiven is dead. Kazuki manages to get behind, get some decent damage. Stingham does go down. They have people on the point now, but the Uber is in the hands of Zio. Is going to use it onto Joe, just trying to block that point. But meanwhile, in the background, Scrib, Kafka all going down. There's a lot of players down, but no, Sammy falls into the pit, and that's going to be one less player to get onto this point. 25 seconds left on the clock, Refleks. They have time 6, but they need as many people onto the point as possible.
This is going to be so close. I'm literally clutching my, you know, yeah. They are trying to stop the point. inVision trying desperately to fight for the point here. And it seems like, oh my god, absolutely insane bomb right there. But Broken tries to save the game. And oh my god, Twice will be capping the point. Meaning that both Twice and inVision will be making the playoffs. And leaving Fela, you know, down on the ground. Sorry, y'all. Fela's in the chat, man. Next season, trust.
We are going to be moving on to this final golden cap round of CP Steel. It is week 5 of season 27 ETF2L Premiership Highlander. inVision versus Twice. inVision taking that first round and Twice tying it up in the second. And to keep things simple now, both of these teams will be joining SDCK in the playoffs for the postseason, and it's just about who is going to be second and who is going to be third seed. The winner of this round will decide that. We're seeing some crit traps here from Joe on the side of inVision. They are going to be red, Twice in the blue, attacking first. inVision trying to beat the time. This is what we saw on the previous round. So clearly Twice with that faster attacking time in the first round, Refleks deciding they want to repeat the kind of series of events that led them to winning the round. I think Refleks has died.
Yeah, my brain died.
You with us? Your brain died. You got to keep it alive, man. It's Steel. You got this. You got this.
Yeah, Steel is too complicated for me, man. And like, I'm literally an open NG. Like, I can't handle this.
You know what? It's all good. It's all good. Just think of this cast as a sentry gun that you need to lightly tap your wrench against. And we'll get through this. We'll get through this. But like you said, it's your favorite part. It's your favorite part, right? It's the capping of Aeon Steel.
Yeah! Yippee! I love capping Aeon Steel, but a lot of presence, to be honest. When they're trying to take over B, it's Broken trying to like do a very aggro pick, trying to get a cheeky shot. Sammy down to 21 HP, manages to get away and survive. Broken almost taking down Sammy, but I missed a complete fight back here. Axio getting a stab on someone, missed that. But they will use on it though. Team Twice will be pushing in with the Uber, making Asics back away with the gun. And they have the high ground. They have everything. Del just, Grip fighting all alone, just dying eventually. And, you know, I think B will be taken over by Twice here.
and it was in the assistance by Grip, accidentally air blasts, and somehow Sammy gets kind of juggled into the skybox and lands on the sentry behind, so takes down the sentry and helps lock them out for a little bit longer. The defensive Uber from Zeo achieves absolutely nothing for inVision, and like you said, B now is well in the hands of Twice. They're able to get some cap time down and lock inVision out from defending it even more. And they're going to have a deeper disadvantage here in inVision. They're only at 40%. Casper just hitting 70 as I speak. Sammy already trying to take BC Connector aggressively. And you know what? If you're inVision, you have to start thinking, I've got to be careful here because I can quite easily get locked out. And oh no, Joe, not realizing the door doesn't open anymore and he's kind of locked in on E, is not able to help his team on C, sorry.
That's absolutely tragic. No Joe demo presence at all on inVision's part on defense. They're just going to crumble and fall apart right here, right now. Kusuke just taking down CEO, and that's just free C. That's an absolute fumble by inVision.
It is. Do you know what? The thing is, Kafka killed Casper at 99%. So Twice have this uber advantage. They're moving into C, get ready. And Kafka takes 99% medic down, and somehow inVision still fumble it. Somehow they still lose it. And 221 for the first 3 points. That's fast. That's over a minute faster, Refleks, than we've seen any team cap the first 2 points so far in this game.
That's crazy, man. But yeah, inVision trying to just pick up whatever pieces they have left. Also desperately trying to shoot down whoever is on point along with the rest of the team. But manages to take down Odin in the process, allowing them to have a little more breathing room, But Unforgiven and Kafka in the flank, taking down a majority of Twice's players, just giving that inVision that important breathing room for them to rethink and plan their defense here. It's been absolutely tragic on B and C. What can they do here on E or D to recover from all this?
Yeah, they're actually stabilizing a little bit now. Kafka and Unforgiven, two players who've been absolutely huge for inVision over the past couple of seasons, or more than that. But Kafka twice in a row taking down a medic with uber advantage, really, really big, and essentially saving his team from a disad push here. But right now, Zeo sits at 100%, nice and safe on that E side spawn, and Casper 65. Twice have to kind of just reset here. They've tried to get some pressure onto D. They've managed to get it about 50% cap, and that will actually cause that spawn on E side to get locked down. So it's not, the worst thing in the world to want to get that capped. But Twice have to be careful here that they don't start to stagnate and let that time slip away, because this could go from a fast time to a poor time if they're not careful. They're using the Uber early though.
There will be, indeed, and they just try to make a lot of pushes out of it, but unfortunately, a lot of cliffs. Pit devs, unfortunate Del's just raging in chat right now, and I feel bad for him. But yeah, team Twice, but Buko getting the necessary pick on Broken here. This might be the potential playmaker here. More open. They can be more present in the open air. Don't get headshot second you reveal yourself. This might be good for Twice, and indeed they will be making use of it, trying to bomb in, trying to do stuff, but Odin falls victim to the pit as well. Poor fella. I love the pit, for real.
The reason that Uber from Twice failed was because Del got pushed into the pit, and then Sammy tried to jump and then got pushed into the pit, tried to jump out of the pit and then just landed more in the pit. Kazuki though comes in, managed to take down Zeo. Huge kill from him. Like you said, he was integral in that second round. That bomb, once again, huge bomb, has opened things up for his team. There's 4 in this respawn queue right now. Piyaka, Sting, and Zia, those two have 10-second respawns right now. Casper falls off.
He jumped down. he was jumping backwards and he just fell down to the pit. What was that?
120 ping? I don't know. I honestly have no explanation for what I just witnessed. Rambasaur's got a dispenser on the bridge, maybe just to block some people from getting in. ×5 on the point though. Odin trying to get aggressive and blocking this window. It does look like though Twice. No, here comes Kafka. Kafka and Biyaka, absolute slaughter. It was a microsecond away from being capped, but it is stopped because
Wait, but Kusuke has something to say about it. But he doesn't, never mind. Pijaka and Griff manages to scare him off and just kill him in the end. Twice, just gonna have to push in here and just, try to get this camp and hopefully make it. A lot of players coming in one by one here. Will they be able to make the play? But nah, Kafka says, sit down, Casper, and takes him down. But, you know, Twice still trying to pick up whatever parts were left. And seems like they will just crumble once again. And, you know, they got to go back and plan their next push here.
Yeah, it's very easy to get kind of lulled into that full sense of security where you think, oh, the game's almost won, let's just throw bodies at the point, when in reality, it's not. You need to regroup and re-sort out what you're doing. BB trying to get some cap time just to keep that point alive. Del goes in, both of them dying though. D was getting tickled for a little bit there, but nothing really happening, and that E point has degraded down to about halfway now. It's a level 1 sentry in heaven, but Stingan is also there with the Brass Beast, and Zio is there with 100% Uber. Kafka with another couple of kills on the assassin classes this time around, just keeping his team pressured, lack of pressure from, you know, the back lines. And as it is right now, it looks like Twice just want to pressure D and just maybe, you know, stop that spawn from being so free. It's been about 3 or 4 minutes on this last point alone, Refleks, so we're already looking at a 6-minute plus time.
Yeah, but they are starting to do something about the B push here. BB all alone on D, and okay, I was not paying attention to E here, but it seems like they've wiped, and strong presence right now from Twice, trying to cap E and D at the same time. Spawns will be closed, leaving inVision to be going all the way around. This is going to cost them a lot of time, and you know, I can kind of smell that Twice got it here, unless suddenly Kafka has something to say about it.
In comes Kafka, he gets down Kazuki. Joe follows up with a kill, as does Grip, maybe buying a few more seconds there, but it's not going to be enough to stop or spark a revival here. Looking at the time though, 7:47, that is by far the longest time we've seen. When you compare it to Twice's attack of, what, like 5 minutes in that first round, and you know, inVision of around 6 minutes. We've been seeing 5 to 6 minutes so far, but not really sure how Twice are going to be feeling about it, because they started so strongly and they probably had the momentum, and then, you know, that morale's going to have been taking a bit of a dip when you're approaching an 8-minute time, and right now inVision are probably thinking we can make a couple of mistakes here and still make this work.
I mean, yeah, since they're pushing as well, it will be very less consequent if they fail, you know, compared to being on defense where you have like a 2-hour respawn time. And, you know, they're just gonna have to, you know, plan this accordingly, you know, have a cup of tea, you know, start, you know, talking fancy and see what they're gonna do next.
Is that your idea of talking strats? A cup of tea and talking fancy?
Yeah.
You know what? That's an insight into the Gabagool team strats, I guess. Cup of tea and talk all fancy, as we see our favorite point of CP still. It is A.
Yippee! But they're all on it this time, though. So
AE?
this AE yet again, but maybe they won't fumble it this time. Perhaps we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens next. But it seems like Broken will be dropping down, going for a necessary pick here. Unfortunately, just gets punished by Buko for simply existing. Very unfortunate indeed. But do I smell a BC push here? The CB actually, if we get
they're doing the same thing in the second round where they got all the way behind.
But Sammy predicted that and 2-time Pijaka, but ooh, nice jump right there by Casper, but unfortunately does not force Casper, making Casper very low. And you know, some of the defenses basically, I mean, Rambasaur has gone down, so this might be a play potential, you know. Uber exchange could happen, as we bear witness on B side here.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really, really rough play by Casper. A little bit of a surf, and I'm not, you know, scared popping to a second rocket. But inVision taking their time, you know, that sentry's managed to get back up, and Kafka comes in again, and this time it is going to be a drop. Zio does not fall for the same ruse. Does manage to get forced though, but inVision now, with only 3 players left alive to face, are just going to flood through that BC connector. They're going to leave a couple of people capping on B and already trying to control BC and get some pressure onto E, get some pressure onto the spawn there. Twice in a difficult position. They have to refocus and regroup here.
I would be crying right now if I was on Team Twice, but Yeah, inVision just having a strong presence right now, just trying to do their absolute best here to make the plays. And both teams, both sides are losing players one by one, but 25-second respawn time for both Axio and Sammy and BB. This is kind of huge, to be honest. And even Rambasaur, this inVision, they got to make a play on this right now. 4 less players with a massive respawn timer, they can just push in here and do something huge potentially here. They're not.
The thing that's stopping them is the lack of bridges, and they need that C cap to go down. That's what they're waiting for. Now that the C cap's gone down, the bridges are being extended, but it's going to be at the cost of potentially their Uber advantage, because Casper's at 80% right now. But it does look like they want to go in. They are going to use it. Grip's going to flare jump across, get onto Casper, pushing them into spawn. Going to respawn by at a 90% there and be absolutely fine. But it's a lot of space and a lot of pressure here. It's going to have to be a really good Uber here from Twice.
Huge comeback potential, especially when Axio takes down the sentry gun on E on inVision's part, and you know they will be kind of getting it here. Casper going down unfortunately for Team Twice, and still a very strong presence on Heaven for Team inVision. They're just gonna have to get more people on the point. Nice stab right there by Axio, taking down Kafka during the process, but not really much cap time on E. Seo walking all alone right now, might potentially get met by Axio, never mind. But yeah, here we go. 4 times on point, and more players are coming in 7 times. It's going up and up. You know, they're gonna have to start making a play here, Team Twice.
Yeah, Twice don't really have an option here if they wait any longer. In comes Del. Big air blast is going to force a couple of people into that pit. And in comes Sammy. Huge stickies is going to take down Joe. A lot of cleanup coming in here. The Uber is going to be used onto Piyaka for inVision. They're going to get back onto that point. BB is trying to help there with Rambasaur. It's not going to be enough, though, as a lot of kills come in from Joe. Takes down Buko and Sammy, and it is just a little mini sentry trying to block them from that point. I don't think it's going to be enough. BB sacrificing himself as well. 3:33 left on the clock, and they didn't even need that amount of time. It is going to be inVision who take the 3rd and final round. That golden cap is going to go their way, so they'll be taking home 4 points out of the possible 6. But the 2 points for Twice does mean that they will solidify themselves in 3rd place and make sure they go into the playoffs, into the lower bracket. We can take a look at the logs and see how things were going. Like I said, in that first round, the standout stat was obviously Zeo not dying at all. And overall in the game, he only died 6 times in the 40 minutes across the 3 rounds compared to the 15 from Casper. So Zeo putting in a strong defensive performance there. But the top fragger on the server, Kafka, with 52 kills. 52 kills from the soldier there in 40 minutes, nearly hitting 400 DPM, is absolutely crazy. Joe with the 42 kills, top damaging on the server with the 500 a minute. Sammy with the 400, just behind, or around 100 behind. And then Stinghan and Odin, 34 and 33 kills. We saw a lot of brass beasts there, Refleks, and the heavies definitely put in a strong performance.
I'm kind of surprised to see this much brass beast play, to be honest. I don't play much heavy, but you know, that's slow like roll up speed when you start firing. That takes a decade to do, man, and I'm kind of impressed how, you know, good mindset these heavies have to like prepare, make optimal use of these. You know, that's why you expertise yourself in one specific class, so you know every single detail and what to do when it comes to that, you know.
Anyway, if you want to drop us a sub or a follow, all the money going from your subs during September, it's of course 20% off at the moment. All of that goes towards supporting the casters and the producers and all the people behind the scenes who put in all the effort for KritzKast covering all of the Highlander games. You can also check out old VODs on YouTube, and you can also watch this VOD immediately afterwards if you are subbed to the channel. Yeah, there's lots of merch and things like that, which you can also go to. All the profits go towards helping the casters and production. We'll be back to be covering the playoffs, of course, for more TF2 Highlander action. I've been CeeJaey, joined by Refleks and Core on the production. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.